In the world of Dragon Ball, we have seen many different characters, some with a backstory, and some with very little to none. But without doubt, the character that has the most character development of all the characters is Vegeta, the Prince of all Saiyans who has had the most traumatic past of the entire cast, resulting in him once having a heart of pure evil that over time softened to that of a loving and caring husband and father. Even with the personal chip on his shoulder to surpass Goku, or who he would call Kakarot, he has made great strides from once training like his life depended on it to now accepting their differences. But through the process, went from a Saiyan to a true, bona fide god. And this is his story. But talking of Vegeta, today's video is sponsored by VPN Proxy Master, one of the world's fastest and most secure VPNs in the world. With over 40 locations, thousands of secure servers, and trusted by over 150 million users worldwide, they've teamed up with me to give you guys 69% off a 2-year plan with a 30-day money-back guarantee. This is perfect for you guys who want to game online, but with privacy, avoiding geo-restrictions, swatting, and of course, general safety online if you've ever been playing on public Wi-Fi. So, with this deal of 69% off a 2-year plan, you can double up your gaming experience for as little as $3.75 a month. Links will be in the description below, but now, onto Vegeta. Prince Vegeta was born in the age 732 to King Vegeta, who at the time was the king of the Saiyan race, though at some point, his father and his people would then come under the dominion of the evil Emperor Frieza, following his orders at every turn. While under Frieza's command, Vegeta would be pressured by Frieza to do his bidding, or else Frieza would murder his father. Through his youth, Vegeta would come to also see his father being stepped on like a stool by the god of destruction Beerus, and thus, much of Vegeta's life early on was based on witnessing how power ruled everything. Later on in Vegeta's life, he was sent away like all other Saiyans to numerous planets to conquer them, assigned to a team involving the elite soldier Nappa and brother of Goku, Raditz. While on a mission on another planet with Raditz, Nappa and 2 other Saiyans, they receive a message to return to planet Vegeta. But Vegeta, being rebellious, ignores the call, planning to tell Frieza that he and Raditz had not heard it. A month later, Frieza would then go on to destroy the Saiyan homeworld, killing and exterminating the large majority of all the Saiyans while Vegeta and Raditz were still away. Later, discovering that planet Vegeta is no more, Nappa quickly informs the Prince Vegeta, who surprisingly doesn't care about the planet at all, the death of his own father, nor the whereabouts of his brother, Tarbal. Discovering that they had survived, Frieza then decided to keep Vegeta along with Raditz and Nappa as combatants to do his bidding. Vegeta initially is especially reluctant to take orders from Frieza's right-hand man, Zarbon, whom Vegeta states is responsible for mocking him for years on end, and as he puts it, working him like a slave. Despite being Frieza's underling, Vegeta would constantly and proudly refer to himself as the Prince of all Saiyans, but never the King, possibly out of respect to his late father, a refusal to admit the extinction of his people, or just because he never truly was formally declared the next king. Over the course of his life under the rule of Frieza, Vegeta would plan to assassinate him on several occasions. However, after witnessing Frieza's incredible display of power when he destroyed an entire planet with a single gigantic energy ball fired from his index finger, Vegeta wisely decides that he would need to wait before attempting to challenge Frieza. At some point later during his time serving Frieza, Vegeta would also go on to get into a squabble with the Ginyu Force member Goldo over how Vegeta is more important in the eyes of Frieza. Goldo mocks Vegeta for being a Saiyan and says that he should take orders from them, but Vegeta responds that in reality they both just take orders from Frieza, and he's only in the Ginyu Force due to Frieza feeling sorry for the 4-eyed freak. Goldo becomes enraged and is about to attack until Frieza arrives and blasts Goldo away from behind, then inviting Vegeta to come conquer a planet with him, showing what appears to be a complicated relationship between the Prince and the Emperor. Later on, Vegeta is made aware by Raditz's dying report that 7 magic objects known as Dragon Balls exist on Earth which will grant the user any wish. After hearing this and of Raditz's death, Vegeta and his companion Nappa decide to head to the planet and use the Dragon Balls to wish for immortality. Goku and the Z-Fighters simultaneously are warned that the two will arrive in roughly 1 year's time and begin to train themselves so that they can be ready for when they show up. While Vegeta and Nappa travel to Earth, they stop by Alia in an anime filler where they make short work of the planet's strongest warriors before destroying the planet. Following this, when they arrive on Earth, Vegeta and Nappa go on to wreak havoc with little to stop them. They then soon find Piccolo, Krillin and Gohan waiting for them, with Tien Shinhan, Chaozu and Yamcha appearing soon after. After Yamcha is lost to a Cybermen, Krillin and Piccolo end up defeating the rest and thus confront the Saiyan duo. Vegeta and Nappa become impressed, so Nappa decides to fight the Z-Fighters next while Vegeta watches on. Nappa easily dominates all the Z-Fighters, resulting in the death of Chaozu and Tien Shinhan. At some point, Vegeta stops Nappa from taking out any more, telling him to wait 3 hours so that Goku can supposedly arrive. Nappa inevitably obeys and waits. Eventually, Goku arrives on Earth and heads directly towards them via the flying Nimbus. Vegeta reads Goku's power level and decides Nappa should kill all his friends before he arrives. Nappa proceeds to finish off Piccolo and is on the verge of crushing Gohan with his foot before Goku intervenes, saving Gohan and eventually crippling Nappa with the use of the Kaioken. After this, Goku suggests to Vegeta to take his injured friend and go back where they came from. Nappa, hearing this, crawls to Vegeta and asks for a hand up, and Vegeta in an iconic moment then proceeds to throw his childhood partner into the air where he then vaporizes him into dust. Some believe this was just a mercy killing, while others believe it was just a show of Vegeta's ruthlessness and his Saiyan values of only the strong deserving to live. With Nappa now gone, Vegeta then faces off against Goku, who he calls Kakarot. Before doing so, he offers Goku the chance to join him, but Goku refuses, and so ensues the iconic first fight between Goku and Vegeta, one where ultimately Goku comes out on top. After being hit by a Spirit Bomb and body slammed by a giant ape version of Gohan, Vegeta just about manages to survive and tries to crawl to his space pod. Krillin, however, interrupts, wielding in his hands Yajirobe's samurai sword, ready to finish off Vegeta for good. Goku, however, interferes, and they let Vegeta escape to fight another day. Vegeta then departs Earth, vowing to make Goku regret sparing him, and his spacepod takes him to one of the planets controlled by Frieza. With his extreme arrogance, he cannot understand how a low-class Saiyan like Goku could have done so well against him, unwilling to factor the contributions of the other 3 warriors into the battle. After some time in healing up, Kui tells Vegeta that Frieza is already on Namek alongside his henchmen Zarbon and Dodoria, and that they are searching for the Dragon Balls. Without wasting any time, Vegeta makes his way to planet Namek, now planning to make a wish with the Dragon Balls. During his stay on the planet, he meets up with Krillin and Gohan, who are also in search of the Namekian Dragon Balls. He tries to track them down and torment them, but eventually leaves them alone since he has much bigger problems such as Frieza, his previous master, and the warlord who was also in search of the mystical balls. While on Namek, Vegeta is followed and ambushed by Kui. Frieza had given Kui the order to terminate Vegeta, a command Kui had been hoping to hear for many years. However, unbeknownst to Kui, Vegeta's encounter with the Earthlings allowed his strength to grow exponentially higher due to the Saiyan Zenkai boost. Now seeing Vegeta's true power, Kui attacks Vegeta, but Vegeta easily evades Kui, telling him that when his power increased, so did his speed. He then easily kills Kui. Vegeta then later takes the opportunity to dispatch of Dodoria as well. Once Dodoria is alone, Vegeta learns from him the true circumstances of Planet Vegeta's destruction by Frieza himself. Dodoria offers Vegeta the opportunity to join forces with him to defeat Frieza. However, Vegeta declines the offer as he reveals his true power. Dodoria runs away, cowardly calling for Frieza's help. Vegeta then ruthlessly executes Dodoria as well. After killing Dodoria, Vegeta goes and causes mass havoc in a Namekian village next, in order to obtain one of the Dragon Balls. Frieza and his henchmen had already collected 5, so he planned to hang on to one and steal the rest from Frieza when the opportunity rose, thus preventing Frieza from making his wish. Once Vegeta obtains the Dragon Ball from the Namekian village and hides it, he then takes flight and soon comes to face with Frieza's most powerful henchman, Zarbon. Vegeta and Zarbon enter a fierce battle, and Vegeta seems to have the upper hand until Zarbon undergoes a powerful reptilian transformation. Zarbon and Vegeta resume the brutal battle, with Zarbon making sport of the Saiyan Prince, pounding him around and completely dominating him. Zarbon easily defeats Vegeta, hitting him headfirst into the ground and completely battered in a crater that soon filled up with seawater, leaving Zarbon to assume Vegeta had died. Zarbon then returns to Frieza to relay the message of his victory, but Frieza was not satisfied. Frieza is well aware that Vegeta may know the location of one of the Dragon Balls, so he sends Zarbon to go and retrieve Vegeta's body and bring him back if alive. Vegeta is then found and later dragged back to Frieza's spaceship, where he is slowly healed by the healing machines. Vegeta recovers and waits for the right opportunity to escape, and eventually manages to find Frieza's collection of Dragon Balls undetected, dropping them inside pools of water nearby and then recovering them later after. At some point he spots Krillin flying nearby with a Dragon Ball and follows him to Bulma's hideout. Vegeta threatens to harm both of them if he doesn't get the Dragon Ball, but says he will show mercy if they comply. Frieza is extremely angered and he sends Zarbon after Vegeta once more, giving him a limit of 1 hour. Zarbon is able to locate Vegeta along with Krillin and Bulma. A fierce clash ensues, and now the healed and fully rejuvenated Vegeta reveals that he has become far stronger from his near-death experience. Zarbon cannot believe it, but he is unable to defeat Vegeta, even in his transformed state. Vegeta ruthlessly slams his fist clean through Zarbon's stomach and blasts him, sending him to a watery grave in the Namekian Sea. Realizing that he cannot keep the Dragon Ball from Vegeta, Krillin begrudgingly hands it over without a fight. Now in a fine mood, Vegeta spares his life and Bulma's for the time being. Vegeta now has 6 of the 7 Dragon Balls in his grasp and only needs 1 more to make his dream of immortality a reality. While en route to find where he had hidden his Dragon Ball, he meets up with Gohan and hits the boy in the stomach for fun before continuing onward. After getting back to where he had hidden his Dragon Ball, Vegeta realizes that Gohan has stolen it and berates himself for letting a kid fool him. He heads back to where Bulma had made her hideout and destroys it, but to his frustration finds that everyone had already left. He then swears to get them for this humiliation. With all of Frieza's Dragon Balls still missing, Frieza sends words to summon the Ginyu Force, the most powerful warriors in his army. Once they arrived on planet Namek, Frieza orders them to retrieve the Namekian Dragon Balls, bring back Vegeta alive, and kill any others that got in their way. Meanwhile, Vegeta senses the arrival of the Ginyu Force and forges an alliance with Gohan and Krillin, all 3 deciding that their only chance for survival was to wish for Vegeta's immortality with the Dragon Balls. Vegeta, Gohan and Krillin race back to where Vegeta was keeping his 6 Dragon Balls and are about to wish for Vegeta's immortality, but Krillin hesitates out of fear of an immortal Vegeta, despite Vegeta's promises that he would not harm them. Suddenly, the Ginyu Force arrives on the island where Vegeta, Gohan and Krillin are, right next to the other 6 Dragon Balls. Terrified, Vegeta attempts to hide one of the Dragon Balls by throwing it far off into the sea, but Berta, using his incredible speed, catches them mid-air. Vegeta then desperately orders Krillin to destroy the Dragon Ball he's holding so that Frieza cannot make his wish for immortality, but before Krillin can destroy it, Guldo freezes time and snatches the Dragon Ball out of his hands. Outmaneuvered, Vegeta, Gohan and Krillin look on in terror as Captain Ginyu takes the 7 Dragon Balls and flies off to report to Frieza, leaving the 4 remaining members of the Ginyu Force to deal with Vegeta, Gohan and Krillin. Vegeta at first takes out Guldo with ease, decapitating him in truly gruesome style, before facing Recoome. Recoome, however, is a different breed, and Vegeta, even with all his newfound power, is completely decimated and treated like a child, beaten down with both Gohan and Krillin combined too. Eventually, Goku arrives, newly powered up from his gravity room training, and dispatches of Recoome and Berta with ease, while also healing everyone via Senzu beams. Vegeta, unsatisfied, shows his callous nature once more and proceeds to crush the neck of Berta and blow up Recoome, explaining to Kakarot that if they had lived, they would pose a risk to Gohan and the others. Goku then eventually faces Captain Ginyu and classically finds himself switching bodies. The new Captain Ginyu in Goku's body arrives and attempts to trick Gohan and Krillin, but Vegeta naturally knows it's not Goku by making them realize he's wearing a scouter. Vegeta then takes on Jace by himself and annihilates him, before then beating down Captain Ginyu inside of Goku's body, who at the time cannot make use of Goku's true power. Captain Ginyu, now incapacitated once again, tries to body swap, but this time Goku is in Ginyu's body, intercepts and gets his body back. Ginyu is finished from this point on and ends up swapping bodies with a frog, while the beatdown Goku is then taken to a healing chamber to recover. After this, Vegeta and the others summon Shenron and wish back for Piccolo, and summon him to Namek. The final wish is left, and Vegeta is on the verge of being wished immortality, but as Dende requests, Guru passes away and the wish is made void. Vegeta becomes enraged, but stops in his tracks once he realizes Frieza has found them and is stood before him. Frieza showcases his incredible power in his first form, but surprisingly, Vegeta manages to keep up and on an equal level. Confident in himself, Vegeta then asks Frieza to transform, since Zarbon had already told him about his ability. Frieza, after being provoked, mentioned how he killed Vegeta's father in the final moments before destroying Planet Vegeta, and then transforms. In his new state, in his second form, Frieza absolutely outclasses Vegeta along with Gohan and Krillin, and ends up going all the way to his final form once Piccolo arrives and Gohan's anger-triggered power is unleashed. Vegeta at this point realizes neither him nor Goku could be any match for Frieza's final form, and decides he must find a way to become the legendary Super Saiyan. His plan being that through the use of Zenkai boosts, he could quickly gain more power. So he manages to get Krillin to severely injure him and then proceeds to make Dende heal him straight after. He heals up and instantly recognizes his increased strength and declares himself a Super Saiyan. He barrages Frieza with a combination of punches and ki blasts, but they all miss, and Frieza beats down Vegeta like a misbehaving child. As Vegeta lays on the ground nearly dead, Goku arrives and engages Frieza for a short moment, where he comes out on top. Seeing this, though nearly unconscious, Vegeta laughs and tells Frieza that Kakarot is the Super Saiyan that will defeat him. Angered, Frieza fires a death beam right through Vegeta's heart, ending the Saiyan Prince's tortured life. Vegeta, dying slowly and painfully, tells Goku that he needs to harden his heart against Frieza in order to achieve the Super Saiyan transformation. Yet Goku tells him he could never stoop so low as to become as heartless as him and Frieza. Then, in order to fill him up with rage and to tell him about their Saiyan race, he begins pouring out his heart and his past out to Goku as the only other pure-blooded Saiyan left alive, all the while with tears rushing down the Saiyan Prince's face. He also becomes somewhat reformed. He no longer cares about immortality or conquering the universe, but becomes obsessed with becoming stronger. Vegeta continues on, begging Goku to defeat Frieza for the pride of the Saiyan race. Goku, in honor, prepares a grave, realizing that although Vegeta did not care about his race being destroyed, he was more upset that Frieza had used him as a puppet for all his life, and no matter what he did to try and stop Frieza, he could do nothing, nearly destroying the Saiyan's pride. Goku vows to take revenge for Vegeta on behalf of their race, burying the fallen prince as a sign of gratitude for Vegeta saving Gohan and helping to revive Piccolo. Later on, Vegeta is resurrected when a wish is made on the Earth's Dragon Balls to bring back everyone killed on planet Namek by Frieza and his men. He is revived and brought to Earth, but not before he sees that Goku has transformed into the legendary Super Saiyan warrior that the Saiyan legend said would only appear every 1,000 years. He also attempts to launch an attack on a bewildered Frieza after the latter asks if he was a ghost, but is transported to Earth by Porunga before he can even finish the attack. Meanwhile, Goku defeats Frieza, but is apparently killed in Namek's explosion. After some time, desiring to learn how to become a Super Saiyan, Vegeta comes up with the idea of wishing back Goku to the check-in station in the other world and then wishing him back so that he will be brought to Earth instead of where Namek used to be. When the wish is made, however, Goku is revealed to have survived and refuses to be wished back to Earth, promising that he will return himself later. Only in the anime, unwilling to wait, Vegeta then steals the Capsule Corporation spaceship and ventures out to search for Goku and bring him back, while also vowing to become a Super Saiyan one day. 1 year and 8 months after the events of Planet Namek, Vegeta returns to Earth, not having found Goku. Vegeta had been training during that time and was quite a bit more powerful than before. However, he still did not achieve the Super Saiyan transformation. While he is still living at Capsule Corporation, Frieza and his father King Cold are sent and on their way to Earth, with Frieza having survived the explosion of Namek. However, a young man named Trunks appears and, much to Vegeta's shock, transforms into a Super Saiyan and destroys both Frieza and his father. After the fight, the boy tells them that Goku will soon arrive, and just as he says, he does. Goku then reveals the boy's information, stating that the androids will arrive in 3 years who will annihilate everyone, and also that Trunks was a Saiyan, which makes Vegeta both angry and jealous. Vegeta says it's impossible because there's no way for the boy to have Saiyan blood, not knowing Trunks is his son from the future. 2 years later, while Vegeta trains vigorously to become a Super Saiyan himself, Vegeta and Bulma develop an intimate relationship, and as a result, Bulma gives birth to a son named Trunks. However, Vegeta shows little to no interest in his son due to his priority to surpass Goku and his inability to act as a father. Eventually, Vegeta takes the ship with the gravity machine on it to a planet so he can train without distraction. While on this planet, Vegeta is forced to defend the ship from a sudden meteor shower, a task which proves to be difficult for him as he is weakened from his training. Just as it seems that both himself and the ship are going to be destroyed by a giant meteor, Vegeta, out of sheer hopelessness and desperation, finally becomes a Super Saiyan and fulfills his dream of surpassing Goku, if only briefly. Vegeta's story is a long one, filled with depth, nuance and serious character development, and this is going to be part 1 of 2, where in part 2 we will delve into what happens in the rest of the Android and Cell saga, the massive change in the Buu saga, and his subsequent ascension to a god in the entirety of Dragon Ball Super. If you made it this far in the video, leave me a hashtag Vegeta in the comments down below, but if you want to see more Dragon Ball anime or manga content, click on one of these 2 videos on the right now. Until next video guys, cheers.